On the app, online,
and across the Cape on 567 AM.
This is Cape Talk. This is Cape Talk.
It's no secret that discipline among teenagers on the Cape Flats is a bit of a problem. This is due to multiple factors, and parents often find themselves helpless to do anything. This morning we are joined by Andrew Koopman of AK Snapshots Study Group, an organization based in Mitchell's Plain aimed at improving the future of the youth on the Cape Flats by providing a safe space to learners. Andrew is going to share on his experience of what affects teen behavior and what we can do to make a difference and create motivation to dream bigger than their surroundings. Mr. K, welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you, Keenan. Quite a pleasure and an honor to be with you on your show.
Most definitely, most definitely. Let's start at the top of it. So what is the cause of ill discipline on the Cape Flats?
Well, Keenan, my experience is it starts at home. Discipline starts at home. I think it's Dr. Adams. I was at the ATK peer session there in Stellenbosch, and he's got a book published about that, proving that discipline starts at home, because he visited a lot of, criminals and stuff in jails and things, and his study shows that it starts at home. That's what we know all these years. So if you don't discipline the child at school, not at school, at home, you're going to have a problem at school and in the larger community. So, yes, it's a parents, and now you can say, yes, but, parents are working and all that, excuses that we have. But we have proven that with the cooperation of the parents and the mentors here at the study group, that your child can turn out great. Otherwise, we won't have that successes that we do have. As you know, you might not know that one of our children is going to Prague.
Oh, wow.
And He got two awards at UCT. I mean, they're competing, coming from this area, competing with, in the group was Judge Dennis Davis's son.
That has to be applauded, eh? That's really good work.
That's quite a feat, I'm telling you. And now we also have received from Wits University, one of our learners has been offered a bursary on a grade 11 results. And there we get 99%. So what keeps them in the study group that they are so disciplined? Yes, we ask the parents, because we've got the experience, to work along with us. Now you can say, yes, if the child is disciplined already, then it's no mean feat to have them focus on their work and have a future, have dreams and stuff to realize. We have, I can tell you, I won't expose the names, but we just have a report 2 weeks ago. One of our children has been chosen as a prefect, but that's normal. But in this case, what's so abnormal about it is that this child was a little druggy.
Wow.
He was, yes. And he's gone, he was put out at one school and were referred to us. I'm telling you now, I'm so proud that we opened our doors for that learner, because he's now a model learner. And the parent came back and said, thank you very much. The relationship between me and the child is even so better, coming because we have our registration days, and if you miss it, you've missed it, because we have to give attention to other children. But she came and begged us and said, please, you must be here, because this is how we improved. We got a better relationship. With tears in her eyes, she's telling me how the child is transformed. Then another one of our big guys that are very high in the performance at schools now, it was also a druggie. He actually have a record at the Drug Rehabilitation Center.
Wow.
Oh, well, we have the child here. I'm telling you what they are doing. So as all these years working with them, I'm still amazed what come out of that if you just give that attention and yes, discipline them. Now, how do we discipline, you might ask, Keenan, me? Me asking the questions. You're supposed to do it. But anyway, listen, how do we discipline him? Yes.
Before you talk about that, earlier on when you started off, you're talking about all of this discipline. It starts at home. I was talking about it earlier in the show. I was talking about the fact that I worked in several communities on the Cape Flats with youth, and a lot of them come from broken homes where it's either a single mother home or they're raised by the granny. And then I was also giving the story of this young boy that I was working with in one of the high schools in Manenberg, and the granny that was raising him was alcoholic. And then He turned out to be a problem child at school. He was hardly at school because he had to stand on the street corner and beg to get money to first buy his grandmother alcohol, and with whatever money's left over to buy himself something to eat so he can also live. And his behavior wasn't the best at school, and teachers just painted him with that same brush of, he's just trying to seek attention, and he's one of those rude boys, one of the schollies at the school, and so on. How do you work with a youth who is broken to the extent that they don't get the support at home, and they see their family members, their older siblings, and even their parents, that whole cycle of they dropped out of school, there's no future for me. We're living in a South Africa where there is a high unemployment rate, and we're living in a South Africa where if I finish school, I won't have money to study study at university, and I might not get a bursary. How do you motivate someone like that?
Okay. Now, that's a very good thing, because what a mentor actually should be is, and I see a lot of people going out for that thing, mentorship and things, a lot of big companies, they got all the money and the things, but it's not only throwing money at the problem or the situation. What you do is you become that second daddy, or you stand in for the absent daddy. You say, you cheer them up, you give them confidence, and that is one of the things that came out in the report that UCT did. They said that's Mr. K, as you call me. They could come to Mr. K. Mr. K is always there for them, and they can confide in Mr. K. Yes, you open up yourself as a daddy. Then you don't call yourself a mentor. You are the daddy to them, and you would, as you would treat your own child. That's how you do it. You win the confidence of the child. You know what we do with these children? Yes, we so focus on what they do wrong, but I have experienced that in all of them they are good. So I tend to go and focus on the good, because they are good in that. And like a little doggy, you train it. It's not scary to tell that a child is like a little doggy, but in fact is it. If you reward the doggy, you reinforce the behavior that you want from the doggy. So what? Dog mentality, yes. My approach all these years has been like that. And the successes are there, because it's not only the children that come from homes that have both parents. In fact, most of them don't have mummies and daddy. I know this one child that's excelling now so greatly. He's seen his daddy once in his life.
Wow.
And the daddy, yes, I can tell you those broken stories. But that's what we learn in the study group, is actually how to handle these children. It's good for you to go to a Model C school. Everything is there. You know, you got all your, resources, and you get everybody there. No, you come to this area where most of them don't have a daddy. And most of them just live with their parents. And it goes so far, even if they're at university, they don't have airtime.
Sure.
Yes. But so they got now sponsorship and stuff like that. But they don't have airtime. They don't have money to buy toiletries and stuff like that. And that's why, what would you do with your child? You would give it to your child. Yeah. You let that child feel nice about himself, and you will see the results eventually from the same child. You know, we don't take these other children. We do take them all. But if you must make assessment of these children, you find out, well, that is almost the majority of the children. If they don't live with their grandma, they live with their grandpa, or they live with an auntie, or you got a single mom, and all of them, most of them, and if they got both parents, they almost don't have money. So that's what we do. As I said, just give that child a little bit confidence that you have an ear for the child. Don't make it off as nonsense and all this bad attention-seeking behavior. No. You approach the child. And I have proved many times that if say the child come in with this very bad report, you know, these little red lines, and now they focus on it. What I do is I will take it and I'll say, okay, here's a 5 at least, here's a 6. Now, somehow you must have done something right to get that 5 or that 6. So then we need to give attention to this. But what do we call that? You are bad, you are poor, you are all that, and don't give attention. And no, we say there's room for improvement, my boy or my girl. So you've already proven that you can do it. So we're going to just give, praise him for what he has done. So we're going to work on this now. Now tell me, do you know where's your nose? Oh, yes. No, they would laugh at you. You ask a child of 11 years old, 12, they're 13, 14 years old, you know where your nose is. Now, if you would ask that for a 9-month-old, they might have a worry in remembering where the nose is.
Yeah.
So I will say, you know then 100% where your nose is. You know what is 1 plus 1? Again, they would smile because it's stupid to ask these questions, but they know it 100%. And that's what we say now. The government allow you distinctions for who? For 80 to 100%. We say no 100%. If you can learn that 100%, then you can learn the other things also 100%. So we go for that. So tell me now, what's your name? Then they give the name 100%. So you're right. Just look at all the questions I've asked you. You answered me 100% of. Obviously, you will get a smile from that, and you win the confidence. It's simple. and there you go with that child. And that child, I tell you, 10 to 1 will come to you with the next report. Bypass mummies and daddies. Come to you, open it here in front of you, and show them what it can do. Just because you've shown a little bit of interest, and that very same child that nobody has time for. We make time for you, and we will see that you get off the street, because now you got another focus. You got another world view. You got a future to dream about. You come to think what you like best, and we find out what those little things that you like. And you will just see how they work towards it once they find a place to focus. And, of course, we create the environment for you to come here. So can we call ourselves a gang? Yes, but here's a super gang.
Mr. K, before you run out of time, I just want to find out from you, how long has the AK Snapshot Study Group been running for? And I also want to find out what makes you different, because I have you as a friend on Facebook, and on the odd occasion you tag me in these things, and I really do appreciate it. And I see some of these amazing young people who are doing great things. Sometimes you post the reports on there and you show me that, okay, so-and-so got 90%, so-and-so got 98% in their maths or on their report and so on. What makes you different, and what is basically driving this organization to keep moving forward?
There's a passion for children. I think that is the thing. When we get new tutors, that is how we assess them. Do you have a patience with children? Do you have a passion for children? It's not, are you educated to handle children? I think that is a sustaining force, that we care. We are that second daddy or that second mommy for the children, and the children feel at home and safe with us. Because we recognize them as human beings, not as a race or sex or something like that. You are a human being, and we are there for you. And those simple words, because we are there for you. And they are not money, and I see a lot of people go out and they make a lot of money by advertising that they ask. No, we are not funding anyway. We're going to get, Keenan, some big sponsors, something that books that we are really needing, that one of the companies going to come and give us just before Youth Day. But otherwise, we just for the love of it, like you give out money to go and swim, or you go and hike, or you go golf, and all those. Now, our money goes to that. We work ourselves for that money, and all those presents that they get, and all those gifts that they try to attain from us. Yeah, we work for it, because I believe you must set an example. Don't just go bakkie aan, soos hulle sê hier. You do it. Be example to the child that you can actually. And that's our slogan, yes, we can. So that we don't go and, yes, we have to now. And someone came on board a little bit, yes, but that's not a thing. You must live by example to that child. That child, you become the daddy to the child, and the child look up to you. And if you can, then they can also. So our example shouldn't be just to go from organization to organization and show them. No, you must be the example. You must be the next person that child never had to look up to. The next person that have confidence in the child. The next person that's underlying, praising and encouraging on the sideline. When your child plays soccer, you go for it. Yeah! You're going to be that yes for that child. You're going to stand there underline, and when they need support, and maybe they fall down a little bit, don't worry, we stand up again, man. We are good soldiers. We stand up and go. Nothing will stop us. We will go for our goals. And you the child's cheerleader also. That's what
Mr. K, in closing, it must be difficult for you to stay motivated as well, and your team that works with you to bring about this change in the community. But what keeps you going, and what keeps that contagious laugh in check?
Keenan, the mere fact that you see a transformation in a child, that gives me a high. And we just had a child like that now, brought to us again, breaking our rules. We don't talk. He don't lift his face up. And I sat with that child. You know what? And again, the child challenged me that I could give him the child couldn't understand. One child asked him, how did he get into grade 5? He don't know the basics. So I will sit personally with that child, and I will make examples like this maths problem that you sat with. Let me give you an example of what I did to him now. So he don't understand that maths problem, which you're supposed to understand. And say, okay, we use our tools. We do the best tools. So what you're going to use, you want to make a hole to plant something. Now, you can use a spade. You can use a spoon, you can use a fork or whatever, but what's the best tool now? You would come and smile to me. A spade. You say, exactly right. So we're going to use the best tool for this. The best tool for this problem is the only tool that you're going to use, and if I use it, I show you my example, and you emulate or follow my example, you're going to have the same results because only the numbers change. And I tell you, the second day, he walked out there. You should just see, I should sometimes take photos of these children when that realization came that they just needed someone to hold their hand and show them that they actually could do it. Because then I sit one side and you sit with it and there you overcome it. And then you want to overcome more and you want to prove to me now that you actually understood. And that's what makes me happy. I get a kick out of it to see children when they got that 99% pure maths, or they got 11 distinctions, or they went up from a 1 to a 7 in one term, Keenan. That's what keeps me going and going and going. And I don't believe that we cannot. We start, our session will say, yes, we can. And we leave this week, we will have to go out of our venue very early. And so I just gave him a short talk before I left. And I sort of, just to rush out, I said, yes, we can. The one started, and then everybody went out screaming, yes, we can, yes, we can. So that's what gives me, because they go into the exam rooms that are busy now. They go in the assessment rooms, and they believe that you actually can. And I'm telling you, those results come back and prove that, yes, we can. That's what gives me a kick in.
Mr. K, earlier you were saying that you're getting some donations of books. It is Youth Month. If there's anybody at home listening and they would like to maybe contribute financially or even of their time, maybe they are ex-teachers and they would like to be a tutor, or they have some old books laying around that can come in handy, is there a way that we can contact you?
Yeah, Keenan, I have always tried to shun that little bit of what you're doing now on radio and everybody, because, as I said, we must be the examples. But yes, now, because of the volume of the amount of children, we would like someone to sponsor us for like this weekend, what we're going to do this weekend, all the grade 11s and all the grade 12s, we're going to give them, those that don't have email addresses, to do the national benchmark test. So we're going to register you. We're going to see that you do apply and you go to different universities. So we need internet connection. We don't have to have the money. You just buy at this big, company. You load it and you send us the code, and then we can take the data and use that for the children. Then you don't give us money. You give the means. Another big thing that we would like, because we got iLearning and we got e-learning. The iLearning is not a problem because we've got the school in the box now, and thank you for those people that came on board for that. The children are doing wonderful, but what can help is if they must, these overhead projections, when you go and do your presentation on what you call it, oh my goodness, I don't know.
On a laptop or something, somewhere at a conference.
So yeah, if we can have something like that, then we can, especially for the grade 12s and the 11th and the 10th, one person can stand up and show to them exactly what the other person is doing.
And what's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, I have a number these days, 078.
Yeah.
187.
187.
8372. They could contact me on, or otherwise, easiest is snapshots.ak@gmail.com. I repeat, snapshots.ak@gmail.com. Snapshots with an S at the back, no? Like, yes,
Sugar,
not
sugar.
snapshot as plural, snapshots. Then they can contact me, and if they want to avail themselves, that is the best gift that you can give, is give yourself, not material things sometimes, is because you give yourself and you make that child, and the child goes away with something that you've given the child. That's what I hear every time. If you didn't tell me that, or if I didn't know that, then I would have made that decisions and stuff like that. So the child confide in you, and you just go off and influence that child to the better side. And yes, yourself, not your money, but yourself. That is.
But Mr. Cape, thank you very much for taking the time to chat to us right here, and we hope that your organization grows from strength to strength, and I really commend you for the work that you and your team are doing.
Thanks very much, Keenan, and thank you for mentioning the team, because people think it's me alone, but it's the team behind me. I'm just the voice and the laughter.
That's Andrew Koopman there from AK Snapshots Study Group, based in Mitchells Plain, doing some amazing work in the communities on the Cape Flats.